Hey, look, we'll continue this conversation, but it looks like Tom just joined, so I'm gonna jump on here with him. Okay. All right, jump on there. All right, thanks, Eric. Bye. Hey, Tom, Joey Grubbs, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Joey. How you doing, buddy?
Man, I can't complain. I'm down here in Ocala watching it rain. It's unbelievable.
Well, in Tallahassee, we got sunshiny skies here all of a sudden. I hope
That's
they're
what I
coming
hear.
your way.
Yeah, I
Hey,
just talked to Tom over. Go
are
ahead.
you able to show your camera?
Well, I'm not in the best area for that right at this moment.
Okay, all right.
So I'll leave that off, but I can share my screen. I love your picture there, man. That NAFA, that's nice.
All right, let me make you a co-host so we can share your screen here. All right, now you should have capability, Joey.
Yep.
Hey, listen, go ahead. I'm going to sign some checks here for our lobbyists.
All right.
Go ahead. Hey, man, how you doing? Great. Things all right? $400,000. Just kidding.
I don't write them.
I know. I hear you. I hear you. You just deliver them to me, don't you? All right. No, these are fine. How's everybody over there?
Everyone's doing great.
Good. You keeping the last in the summer and all of them out of trouble over there?
Trying to.
And
Yeah.
everybody, just three, right?
So this is for you. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's the proclamation. Okay, I forgot about that. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Ready.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you at the tailgate one of these days.
I might be there.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, I kind of lean on the other side, Florida Gators. So
Oh, you're a man after my own heart. I'm a
Exactly.
Gator,
exactly.
despite this maroon garnet shirt I'm wearing today.
I know.
Don't
Well,
let that fool you.
I actually go to FSU, but
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you're an FSU student. You're pulling for the Gators?
Well, I grew up as a Gator, but I grew up in Tallahassee too. So
Okay.
it's just easy for me to go there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's just
No, I
sports
get
and
it.
education, they're different,
Well, it's just a football game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that big a deal.
Especially like right now, at the Gators too,
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
with FSU.
So it's good. We need to recruit more of you guys over there.
That's what I'm saying.
All right,
That's what I'm
man. Thank
saying.
you.
Take care.
Yep. Appreciate you coming out. All right, Joey. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Let's see your screen here. Yeah, we got your screen. Can you maximize that?
That's as big as I can make it because that's actually my cell phone that's coming on to the screen there.
Okay, and you can make the presentation that way then?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I
all
can.
right.
I'll be working through the tiles here and showing you, how the app works, and then we'll talk about using the app as a revenue source or whatever you want to talk about.
Okay. All right. No, this is your show. You just got to convince these three people on the call about what this is all about. I'm just the administrator here. Let me get Eric in.
Morning,
Hey, Eric, how are you?
Eric.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good,
Yes, sir.
good.
Tom, thanks for getting it started earlier.
No, no problem. No problem.
Morning, Craig.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Morning, Jeff.
Morning, how are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Eric Stolman.
Nice to meet you, Eric.
Waiting on Darian and Taylor.
Tom, did I miss anything in the NAFA meeting in the illustrious words of Steve Saladino?
No, Steve, yeah, as usual, words of support, which are always very good, but nothing critical at all.
All right. Did folks make the commitment to securing new members? I'm assuming no.
Well, he didn't ask for a raise of hands. He did make the appeal though. So,
Yeah, I heard part of the appeal, and I assumed
you
that no
did?
one would volunteer. Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless membership.
I'll tell you what, that's an area that needs some real straightening out as far as I'm concerned. All right, here, let's see. I show 6 people. Who is 407 area code 463-6409?
That's me.
Who's me?
I'm sorry, Eric Stolman. Tom.
That's there. Oh, okay, Eric, you're on the phone there.
Yeah. With my computer set up, because of how I have my video and my monitors and stuff, I
Gotcha.
dial in on my, but I do the video.
No worries. I just wanted to make sure we knew who was there.
Yeah. So I'm in there twice. So
Gotcha.
on video and
Okay,
screen,
and I just changed your phone number to a screen name, so we got that. And here's Taylor. Here she comes. Eric, you and your folks, just so to give you a heads up, we have 3 members of the Business Development Committee Task Force. That's Jeff Turnoff, he's the chair. And then we've got Taylor Collins and Darian Ward. Both Jeff and Taylor are on the call now, but we're still waiting for Darian. I know we're tight for time here, Eric, so I don't want to wait for Darian much longer here. In other words, I think we need to move on since we do have a hard stop at 10:30.
Hey, as chair of the committee, I don't want to wait for Darian at all. Let's move. Go.
Okay.
You're being recorded, Jeff.
I don't care. Oh, I love Darian, but if you can't be here on time, then
Right.
we're moving on without you.
Right. All right. Mr. Turnoff, I'll turn it over to you. You're the chair of the committee and task force, and let you turn it over to Eric.
All right. Well, ironically enough, the people that are on the call are very familiar with Eric because we've seen a lot of emails that have gone back and forth. A very special thank you to Taylor for bringing this opportunity for us to evaluate. Eric, I'll turn it over to you to kind of,
Craig.
I'm sorry. Craig Rodriguez. Well,
Yeah, he's the one that did it. Give him credit.
okay. I'll give
Unless
Craig
you really love it and then give it to me.
Well, I tried to give it to you, but you wouldn't take it. But I'll turn it over to Eric to give us the dog and pony show.
All right. With that said, I'm not going to go into. I know everybody's on a tight timeline. We've got a hard stop at 11:30. So, Craig Rodriguez and I, we've worked together for 14 years. That's how I got introduced to Taylor. And he said, "Hey, look, can you help out with associations?" I cross-checked. There's multiple ways that we can help, but I thought the quickest way that we could assist was with this product. Through Colonial. And so I have Joey Grubbs as well as Craig Anderson on the line. I've spoken with Tom, I've spoken with Taylor, I've spoken with Craig. So this really comes down to your all's goals. And my understanding of the goal, and if it's different, you guys will let us know. But we've got this set up is that you wanted to create value for your members, but also create a revenue stream, and you know, to kind of move it forward. Is there anything else I'm missing, Tom, Jeff, Taylor?
If it can be as an added benefit for members to encourage membership, that's great, but it's not a requirement.
Tom, Taylor, anything else?
No, you're good. We're good.
All right, Joey, I'm going to hand it to you.
Okay, great. So as you can see, the top of the app here, it says Colonial Life, but this is not a Colonial Life product. This is a competitive health product called Show Benefits. And we can white label this however we need to. So if it needs to say NAFA across there for the members, that's fine. We can build it however you'd like. I'm going to buzz through the app and some of the tiles on the app, show you how the functionality is, and then we can talk about how to position it as a benefit to the members as well as a revenue source to the association. So this first tab is the benefits tab, and when an employee or an app holder logs in, they're able to see their health insurance benefits. They're able to track their deductible spends throughout the year, their out-of-pocket maximum spends. And then when they click over here, it takes them into their ID card, which they then can, you know, flip, or they can click on the telephone number for it and they can get directed directly into the carrier for service. They can email this card. If their spouse is sitting at the doctor and doesn't have the card, they can email it over. It has a provider search engine on it to find a doctor within your network and give you all kinds of services. We can even put the benefit summary for the account. Now, I'm talking in terms of a client company right now. Okay, so an employer or group and their employees would have access to this app, and they have access to their full benefits package. Now, I realize some of your members are not in this space, and that's fine. But for those that are, we're going to be a great resource for them. And then we can house up to 15 different benefits, which allows them to manage their healthcare benefits package all in one place. So if they have an accident policy, say through Colonial Life or Aflac or anywhere else, they can click on that. They go to claim, and it takes them into the portal where they can file claims electronically for those companies and so on and so forth. Now, the members of NAFA will not have that tile on their app because they'll all be signing up as individuals. That member, those individuals won't have access to that one tile, but everything else that I'm about to go through, they'll have access to. Okay. Telehealth is through the engine of MD Live right now. As things grow and change, that carrier may change, but the service will still be the same as far as the functionality of it. They log into MD Live, and up to 10 members of their family can use this service, and it's basically telemedicine with no copays whatsoever. Telemedicine, I think you all know, is definitely used to be the wave of the future, but it's no longer that. It's the present, and that's what people are using. Even health carriers are getting rid of primary care physician copays and coverage, and they're going right to telehealth. United Healthcare is doing this, Cigna is doing this, and the others will catch on. There's also an advocacy tab to this with a physician locator and a medical bill negotiator. So if someone has a medical bill of over $400, they can have this company negotiate on their behalf to reduce that bill as much as possible. And we're seeing an average of about 50% of bill reduction when that service is being used. The chronic care app is through Blue Star. This tile will lead them out to the app to download, and they'll have all the passwords to get into it. It won't cost them anything to use it, and it's going to help them manage their diabetes and any type of chronic care that they may be struggling with. There's tools on that app that allow them to track their, their activities, their steps, their eating patterns, all the things that diabetics have trouble with. they have a mechanism there to be able to track that. And kind of a cool feature with that is they can actually create a report through that app that can be sent to their doctor for analyzation. And that doctor can look at the report and go, okay, Jim, looks like you're, struggling in this area or that area, or you're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing. But it's activity that's specific to that person. It's not just, averages or statistics. Okay. There's doctor chat on here. So you can talk through asynchronous chat with a doctor through email. This is kind of like Google Doc on steroids. You're basically actually chatting with a doctor about your condition that you don't know, what that particular condition is, but you want to find out. For example, the RX Valet. We all know Good RX on TV. This is like that. You type in the prescription that you're looking at taking or that's been prescribed, and you put in your zip code. Let's just pick a zip code of Tallahassee or maybe Monticello. That's where I live. And it'll pull up the pharmacy that has that prescription and the cost of what that actual prescription would be when you go to the pharmacy. So in this case, if that copay of $8.30 or that price is lower than your $10 generic copay on your health insurance, then you wouldn't use your health insurance copay. You'd use this, and that helps reduce claims on the health insurance. Well Card Savings is probably the most used tile in this app. You click on this, you can get discounts on dentists, you can get discounts at the vet, you can get cash rewards for purchases at Target, Home Depot, places like that. There's diabetes care supplies that you can get discounts on, and not going to belabor this, but all of these things you can get discounts on. That's probably the most widely used tile, that and the MD Live. Mental wellness. This is a hot topic these days because COVID is driving us all insane. So if you're having trouble, you can contact these folks and they can give you self-help, self-paced modules that you can work through to help resolve what you're going through. Okay. Some people don't want to talk to somebody, but they want some resources. We also have the 24/7 Telepet, which is the same thing as MD Live, but it's for your dogs and your kitties. Then we have the MSK Care. That's a little bit vague, but basically this is a rehabilitation program for people who are having back issues or musculoskeletal issues. And they can have in-home programs that are prescribed to them via email or phone that they can do at home. They never have to go into, Tallahassee Orthopedics or sit there and wait and do all that. And then you walk out of there and they give you this little red band that says, hey, stick this in the door and do some stretches and you'll get rid of that tennis elbow. Well, you just paid a $75 copay for that advice, right? You can get all that stuff done through this. And then we even have an employee assistance program. This is a full-on EAP. We all know what EAPs are. Employees are having trouble financially or mentally or just whatever. They can contact someone who's qualified to talk to them about their issue 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that is the app. Any questions about the app before we talk about the revenue generator?
So one of the questions I put in the chat was, so if I have a private insurance, say, for example, for chronic care, can I link it to this app, or is it only for the benefits associated with the association plan?
I'm not sure if I understand your question, Jeff. This does not have anything to do with any health insurance. You could have this app and not have health insurance at all. Or you could have health insurance. And the way it interacts with your health insurance in most cases is you look at the path of least resistance as far as cost. So if you can use the app and it's free, and it's the same value of service and quality of service, then you would use that. If you have to use your, go ahead.
Well, so you listed, or you showed us benefits and you showed us a card. So is this not tied to health insurance?
Okay, so when it's not tied to health insurance in any way, but there is API integration that happens between this app and the health carrier. So let's just say it's Florida Blue or CHP in Tallahassee is pretty primary. So we link into CHP through API, and it basically through the member ID number pulls it connects this app to the carrier's portal, which provides information like your EOB. Any information that would be on your evidence of benefit would then be in this app.
Got
And
it.
Joey, is that true for both individual policies and group policies?
Right. As I said before, that tile is for the group space only.
Okay.
That tile's not going to be on an individual's app.
Got it.
Like, go ahead.
Okay. And is it possible that the carrier could change each year?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
So that tile and the API integration with the carrier is tied to the member number for that employee. So we just did an electrical contractor in Panama City, Florida yesterday, 25 lives. The employer pays for the app for all 25 people, and they have Florida Blue. So the 10 people that signed up for Florida Blue are going to be connected through that app, through that tile into Florida Blue, and they're going to be able to keep track of all that information. It also provides them with their member ID card, as I showed you. The other 15 people who didn't take the health insurance, they won't have that tab on there because they're not covered under the health plan, but they'll have all the other services on the app. Does that make sense?
It does. So is there a cost associated for having the app individually?
Right. So in the group spaces where we shine, I mean, that's where this product does the best. Just because we have the mechanisms to market it. We already have the benefits communication specialists and the programs and the services. So it just fits nicely into the group space. And the individual side of it is a little bit harder to market, but we do sell it on an individual basis. And
Sorry, so I feel like there's three different conversations that are going on in that are we offering a health insurance plan? And I don't need an answer to that. Some of this is rhetorical. And if we are, is one of the benefits of offering a health insurance plan this app? Or are we specifically looking at this app as the benefit that we're offering to our members?
And
Joey,
Taylor's nodding her head. Yes,
Joey,
the latter is
Joey,
exactly correct.
Joey.
Go ahead.
Let me jump in. What happens, Jeff, is when I was introduced to Nathan bringing a solution to you guys, this app I thought could be the quickest, because I work with numerous other associations. We have association plans put together. I've got other health products, MEC, Super MEC, MVP plans that we could put with you. Dental, and which, by the way, I don't even have to take through underwriting because that way I've got it structured. But that's one avenue. Another avenue, when I spoke with Taylor and Craig Rodriguez initially, they were talking about dental and vision. I would have to go through underwriting. I've already vetted some folks, but we'd have to pull information from your association to do that. This app was the quickest way to create value for your association. So that's why we're communicating it. So the avenue that you were talking about is, can we do those things? Yes, we can, but we were taking it in baby steps. And I took the least path of resistance to be able to show you guys this first. But you are correct, Jeff, is that there are other things that we can do.
Okay, so then we need to think of this as a separate option. And if we wanted to offer health insurance, then we can, but we don't have to do it at this point in time. We can think of it as at a later date.
That is correct. And by the way, I've already got product sets in there. I'd bring on other consultants with me that I'm already doing that with other associations, and I'd be able to give you a full blown, but in 30 minutes and doing this and there's no way.
No, I understand. So Taylor and Tom, as per usual, I'm monopolizing the conversation. Do you all have questions?
No, and as I looked at this app during the presentation Joey gave, I was seeing this as something that our members would offer to their health insurance clients.
Sure. Yeah, Tom, absolutely. That was the exact thing that we were thinking too, but we were also thinking about you offering it to every single member through the association, so that for two reasons. One, that's a revenue generation, but it also gives, take just for, I'm just throwing a name out there, but at Avant Financial, George would be able to have this app on his phone. He'd be able to see how it works. And then he would be able to give a true testimonial to his clients and how that works. So you kind of killing two birds with one stone, but it is a revenue generator from the people that take it as members of NAFA. And then they in turn would have this in their toolkit to be able to sell to their client companies. And we would work with them on an individual basis to help promote it and position it and do all of that. You would just make the introduction to us, Eric or Craig or myself or whoever. And we would train them on how to position that.
Okay.
So anyways,
so to complete the thought then, if we were to adopt some sort of member benefit, let's say a dental plan, let's just stick with that, a dental plan for all of our NAFA Florida members, then they could use this app, each one of them, all 1,300, to view the information regarding their dental plan, for example. Am I correct?
well, the way it would work is you would go back into the benefits tab, and I apologize. Everyone will have the benefits tab regardless, as far as in the group space. But the ones that don't have health insurance obviously won't have health in there. But you'll see under the dental benefit, we will load the benefit if this thing will ever catch up to itself here. There'll be a dental tab on the inside this benefits tab. So they'd be able to manage and see their member ID number. Here we go. So if you look right here, you see the dental.
Right.
So in this carrier, so they wouldn't have the health here, but they would have the dental. And if you wind up doing a vision plan or a life insurance product, whatever
Right.
benefits,
Okay.
would be in here for the association.
So your answer is yes. Then each one of our members could view their NAFA Florida dental plan on this app.
Correct. Now, the only difference is it doesn't track the spend like it does on the health part. So they just get to see what their benefit is.
Yeah.
And their member ID numbers and that.
All right. Taylor, I didn't mean to walk on you. I had to get my thoughts out while I still had them crystal clear in my mind, which doesn't happen very often.
No, I get it. I'm curious about the revenue generation piece.
Okay, great. So we have about 10 minutes to discuss that. My thought was, and Eric's thought is that if several ways to do the revenue generation. One, you could be so bold as to say, hey, we're going to take this, we're going to include it in your membership dues, and everybody that signs up for NAFA gets this product. And then you get revenue from that. Then we get, again, just using George Avant says, hey, I want to offer this to my clients. Then we get hooked up with George, we go out, we sell it to his clients, and you still make revenue off of every transaction that happens. So there's two ways to generate it: through the broker channel that you have as your members, and then to their client companies and the members of NAFA themselves.
So what is, what's the revenue split, and how many members of our association need to participate in some way, shape, or form for it to make sense?
Well, the opportunity always dictates the cost of just about everything in our space. So let's talk about that for 2 seconds. How many members do you currently have in NAFA?
1,300.
For NAFA Florida, say 1,300.
Okay. So if you were going to put this as membership dues, then the price is different than if you say we're just going to throw this out there on our website and anyone who wants to sign up can sign up. That's a whole different ball game.
We cannot change our dues.
Okay. All right. So that's not an option. So if you want to make it available to your members, then, we have to figure out what that price is. And I quite frankly, we'll have to get with Eric and have that conversation, and then we can present you guys with a proposal. But on the group side, the suggested retail for the basic app, we have 3 different versions. We have basic, we have enhanced, and we have premier. What I showed you was the premier app. It has everything in there. And then it's scaled down for the enhanced and then scaled down even further for the basic. But all of the apps include the telemedicine, the well card, the basic functionality. The basic app sells retail suggested for $11 per employee per month per app holder. We position that as an employer paid benefit, and the close ratio on that is extremely high. So we feel like if we get in front of the client, we're going to sell it, is what I'm telling you. So $11 would be the retail, and your wholesale cost that you could give to your members. Eric and I have to speak about it, but based on what that opportunity is, it's probably going to come in somewhere around $9 that they would pay for the app. And within that, there's going to be about $1, possibly $1.50 to NAFA on every transaction that happens. So if we go ahead.
So Joey, I'm going to cut you off. I feel like I'm in math class and it's not making sense.
Okay.
So let's work with round numbers. Say
Sure.
10 people decide to participate in this. They pay $11 a month. Of that $11 a month, how much is coming to NAFA? And I'm not going to hold you to it in the sense of, I understand you and Eric have to confirm on a price, but is it $1 per member? Is it $2 per member? How much is coming to NAFA Florida?
Okay, so you have to decide what you want your price to be to your members. My thought is $9, just using round numbers, $9 would be the cost for me as a NAFA member. All right.
Okay.
And in that, there's going to be $1 to $1.50, somewhere around there, to the association in that price.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying.
Then I'm going to take the $9 app. I'm going to go out to my 25-person group. I'm going to sell it to them for $11. So I'm going to make $2, and the association is going to make that $1 or $1.50.
Oh, in addition. Okay. Got it. I understand. Okay.
And we'll give you the final numbers by day's end. We just have to work
that's
through
fine.
it and figure out, what the
That's
price
fine.
needs to be.
I just needed to wrap my head around what we were looking at.
Yeah,
Okay.
the only other thing I would ask is, as you're working on the numbers, is if you have an idea or can present to us how you effectively would get out to 1,300 members, what kind of data you would need to, make that work. I mean, I get that you'd need contact information and things like that.
Sure.
But I'd be interested to see what works with your other association and see if we can consider that for our members.
That's a great question. I'm simply thinking hypothetically right now, but my idea would be that, Craig and I are both with Colonial Life, and we work with brokers throughout the state of Florida, as do many of our colleagues. So we could probably, Craig, just thinking outside the box here, build a distribution channel across Florida and assign those brokers that are in their area to them to contact. So it would start with a list from you of the members. And then we would want to work through that list with you to go, okay, potential candidates, the guys that have books of business or have access to commercial accounts, those are the ones we want to focus on. Right. And you all know who those folks are. And that's where we would start. And then we would want you to send out some sort of collateral or communication or an endorsement of some sort to say, hey, we're sponsoring this program. When they call you or contact you, please give them 15 or 20 minutes of your time to understand the opportunity, that type of thing.
Okay. All right. Tom Taylor, do you have additional questions?
No, I think it's all in the details at this point, and for us to kind of kick around. In my mind, the app it's really interesting. It's a great little app, it looks like. And Forgive me, Joe, did you say it's in the App Store? That's how they would download it. It's in the App Store. Is that right?
Yeah, and you could download the exact same app that I just showed you. It's just a demo app, and you
Right.
simply go to the App Store and type in show benefits. And depending upon if you have an Android or a iPhone, there's a space in between the two words.
Mm-hmm.
So if it doesn't work with the space, then take the space out and it'll pop right up.
Yeah. I think
And
obviously
Tom,
this is.
Tom, we can get you those directions. Also, I want to let you know is, I mean, you guys had some good questions. You need to realize though, different associations are different. I mean, you guys work with a lot of different clients, as do we. And I have no two clients that are the same, no two associations are the same. We'll customize to what you guys need. This is a 30-minute intro conversation.
Right.
There's things you probably liked, and there's some things you're probably going, hey man, I'm scratching my head and saying, you know, how's this fit? Or, you know, do we tie it in with this or tie in with that? That's what this is. This is a starting point for you all to, I mean, I always tell people we create benefit solutions. That's what we do. And so this isn't the end all be all. It's a starting point, and it was a starting point where I could get you something to review at its quickest point. There are other medical, dental, vision, other things that we could do to tie in for additional value for you, but you guys need to guide me, and I'd probably need to pull back additional information, but this was the quickest, lowest cost impact to be able to basically get some buy-in, get a review from you guys of saying, hey,
Yeah, this is a discussion starter, and I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what the next steps are, guys, but that's what we do. We build relationships, we strengthen relationships and partnerships, and we would be absolutely honored and humbled to be a part of your organization in some way. So happy to take the next step with you and maybe sit down in person and go over a strategy. But I can tell you this app is very well received in the marketplace. It's a great door opener for brokers who want to grow their business and increase their books. So it would be a great resource that you would be providing to your broker partners and members. So anyways, that's my last words on that.
Right.
And I thank you so much for your time.
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you very much for making some time. The next steps at this point, Taylor, Tom, and I are going to have a conversation. Obviously, we're not going to have it right now. We'll most likely Tom will be the one to get in touch with you in terms of what next steps look like, or if we have additional questions or want to see other things, then we'll kind of go from there.
that is perfect. We appreciate your all time. I know we're at a hard stop, so you guys have a wonderful day, okay?
All right.
Great.
Thank
Thank
y'all.
you, Eric.
Thank you all. Appreciate you
Joey.
very much. Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Thanks, Tom, for coordinating.
My pleasure.